celebrations, presentations.
She's a real person. Oh yeah, she's
It's all right.
come sit with us.
Earl's out, so she can be a.
Yeah, the kids are sitting over here.
You get Earl's vote for the night.
All right, let's go.
Yep.
All right, good evening, everybody. You want to call the roll?
Bergstrom,
Yes.
Merritt,
Yes.
Taylor, Thompson,
Yes.
Van Sickle.
Yes.
All right. Approval of the agenda.
So moved. I'll second.
Thompson,
Yes.
Van Sickle,
Yes.
Bergstrom,
Yes.
Merritt.
Yes. All right. I think why many of you are here, so let's get rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have two presentations tonight. The first one, if you guys remember, I want to bring our successful activities to the board 3 times a year. So tonight I asked Reed Smith, our activities director, to bring our fall student athletes and our other individuals to the board to be recognized. So Reed, I'm going to hand it off to you and you can go ahead and kind of go over our fall activities.
Yep. We had a number of fall activities and students that participated in our fall activities that received significant honors from the activity that they participated in this fall. So I have a few coaches here that are going to present on their program's behalf, and then I will present on the remaining programs. So I'm going to just go ahead and turn it over to Ryan Bliska with cross country. He's going to lead it off. Our cross country team had a successful season. So Ryan.
Terry for third place. All right, thank you for the opportunity to speak here tonight. First off, we want to recognize a couple of young ladies who earned some impressive honors this fall. Samantha Lass and Addie Trussler both earned academic all-state team for cross country. This is an award we really like to emphasize because there's a dual component to it there. It recognizes excellence in athletic performance at our district cross-country meet, but it also recognizes their academic achievements in their GPA throughout their 4 years in high school. So not an award that a lot of kids earn, but I want to congratulate Addie and Sam for that. And then also tonight we are recognizing our boys cross-country team. I like to think that in our program, our guys have built up some tradition over the years. In the past 10 years, the guys' team has earned 9 trips to the state cross-country meet. And I know sometimes coming into the year, those sorts of expectations can be intimidating. But this year's group, I feel like, use that as motivation above anything else and put in a summer of preparation more than anything we've seen before. And in turn, they got to see results out on the course that was more impressive than any previous Ogden cross country. So all of our boys that are present tonight, if you guys could come on up here. A few things I want to say about these guys' performance this year. They finished ahead of every 1A team that we competed against in the months of September and October. They finished second place at a very competitive conference meet. They were district meet champions this year, with a very impressive score of 34 points at our district meet. And tonight we are presenting them with their plaques from the state meet from the Athletic Association to recognize their 4th place team finish at state cross country. Individually, a couple guys we want to point out here. This side, me, Jude Benbow, who finished 2nd team All-State, 1st team All-Conference, and Jude was individual champion at our district cross-country meet. Next, we've got Miles Tremblay. Miles was our first freshman in school history to be an individual state qualifier, and he's our all-time freshman 5K record this year. Brady Van Sickle was another individual state qualifier for us this year. And our fourth individual qualifier was Caden Laerdal. Those previous state qualifying teams I mentioned in the past, we typically have one or two individuals qualify for the state. And this year, obviously, guys went above and beyond. We had 4 individuals that qualified and a 5th runner that just missed that couple of spots. So, like I said, most impressive boys cross country team I think we've ever had here at Ogden. So, proud of these guys for being young men of great character and for representing us with integrity this past fall.
Jenny Mitchell with volleyball next.
Hello, I'm Jenny Mitchell. I completed my first year as the volleyball coach here at Ogden, and have the privilege to recognize Aubrey Leonard. So I'll have to stand up. Aubrey is one player that she was selected for second team all conference, and it was a game or a tournament did not go by that the opposing coach would come over to me and say, "Hey, whatever your libero's name is, she's out of this world." I'm super excited because she's just a junior, so I get her for one more year. So I anticipate her to be back to present it again. So congratulations, Aubrey.
Tyler Lord with football.
I told Reed the banquet was a long time ago, so I have to try to remember some of these things. But yeah, obviously, football season, we were able to qualify for the state playoffs again, so that's the 4th time in a row for Ogden. This being my 2nd year, we've been able to do that back-to-back seasons, and actually next year's group will get an opportunity to have the longest streak in Ogden history, which is really pretty exciting to try to get there 5 times in a row, but we've got a lot of work to do until then. We had numerous players that were selected to the all-district team. We had Caden Dudley and Carson Muggenberg who were selected for the first team. Second team selections, we had Braden Miller. You guys can come up here. Tyler Lass, Ryder Eklund, Owen Bergstrom.
CJ.
Yeah, CJ Jones. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, these guys obviously did a phenomenal job. I think one of the things that we really faced this year was we had an increase in participation numbers. At one time, we had 58 kids out for football. And then we got a lot of injuries, so I gave our seniors kind of a hard time. They must have had a voodoo doll that they were mean to in regards to football, and kind of came back and bit them this year. But as a result, we had a lot of underclassmen who had to participate for us and play at a high level. You don't want to see this many freshmen and sophomores on the all-district team, but thankfully there are freshmen and sophomores, so we'll get to continue to see them out there and continue to work the next couple of years. But yeah, we're able to overcome those obstacles. Learned a lot. I learned a lot as a coach as well. I continue to learn from these guys. Very thankful to be in this community and really proud of their accomplishment. So thank you.
We also had 4 individuals that earned all-state chorus honors. Owen Bergstrom, Lily Joseph, Lydia Longhorn, and Mackenzie Spencer. Give it up for those guys. We had several individuals earn honors in the honor band. Mackenzie Spencer in the flute or piccolo, Henry Russo in percussion, Van and Rosa in trombone, Beck Anderson in the alto saxophone, Hiram Johnson in clarinet, and Amani Swan in the trombone. And then we also had a few more individuals earn the academic all-state honor. Connor Moe, Hazel Fredrickson, Owen Bergstrom, and Vanden Rosa.
If I could ask the students that are here that received recognition during the fall, if you guys would come up here for a picture with the board, I'd appreciate that. Board, I don't know if you guys want to maybe just stand or something real quick. Students, if you guys want to come, we'll just kind of take a quick picture. I know there's a number of you. No. Yes. I'll take the thing.
Come on. I see you. Let's
Oh, yeah. I'll tell people that. So you're probably
All right, right here.
1, 2, 3. Awesome.
All right, thank you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you. You guys are good to go. Thank you all for coming.
Yeah, you guys, unless you want to stay for the meeting.
Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Reed.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
We have another presentation. Yep. All right. Congratulations, guys.
There you go.
The other presentation celebration that we have tonight is Caitlin Grine is with our FFA program. And I think you also have somebody else that maybe you want to introduce to the board before our students go ahead and share some information about FFA Nationals.
Yes. Her this is Jenna Tolak. She's our student teacher. She'll be with us all this spring semester. She's at Iowa State and already love her. She's fantastic. So I think she's gonna be great with her kids. So they are going to talk, but I am gonna say two things. I'm super proud of this group. Sorry, I'm kind of like not in a good spot. They have by far been the most dedicated group of students I've ever had. In fact, there was a couple of times I told them to put their study stuff away and to just enjoy their trip. So they deserve all the good things that happened, and they were just such a good, kind, easygoing, whatever we wanted to do, they did it as a team, and it was awesome. Such a good group. So I'm gonna let them present.
You're fine.
You're fine. You're good. Good.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay. So we're your Ogden CSD worshiping team, and we just want to say thank you for letting us go on this trip. We appreciate you guys funding us because going on trips can be very expensive, even if it was just 6 of us. But it was amazing to experience all these opportunities and to represent not only ourselves as Ogden CSD, but also Iowa at national level.
We attended career fairs, taking the opportunity to explore universities and different things that are available in the pine fields, and a few industry tours. Our competition mainly consisted of recorded video judging, some in-person judging, preparing and presenting reasons, and an online individual test, in addition to hands-on activities.
Some of the things that we learned about in our time preparing for this trip and then on this trip, including, was about industry specialists, collegiate options, and opportunities at a career fair. Public speaking skills with giving our reasons, teamwork with our team activities, practical equine skills, industry career options, and chess management.
For results, as a team, we placed in the top 15 with the golds. In individuals, Anna placed second performance with a gold individual. Riley placed gold with NHJTCA certification. I placed silver with the certification. And Leah placed gold with certification.
Thank you guys. Good stuff.
That's it for celebrations presentations. Great job.
Thank you guys.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Good job. All right, guys. Have we already rock, paper, scissors for this? All right, Amy.
Well, we were talking about how it has seemed like a short amount of time since the last board meeting with winter break, but it still feels like things have been busy and a lot of things going on in both buildings. Since we last met, we had our music concert at the elementary, and I'm always amazed at how many people come to support our kindergarten through 5th grade students. I think we're still trying to figure out that magical time frame of not having too much time between the two concerts for families that need to attend both. but also not creating a traffic jam. So we're still trying to find that good balance, but just appreciate all the people that come out in the community to support our students. Kaylin Schubert was here, but we kind of previewed last time the clothing drive in the basement, and had close to 30 families come and shop for gifts in the basement. And I just think people don't see the behind the scenes work that goes into the amount of time, but know that families in our community really appreciated having those resources available. And we still have had some people reach out after and have wanted to come back for some different things or shop for birthday gifts. So just appreciate that being available to people as needed. Last time we talked through that the state was providing all first grade students with decodable readers, and we've received those since then. And all first graders have gone home with their first set of 10 books and with communication, but each of the books came with a video that parents can play to really help give them the tools to be able to support their child with the book and then follow up activities afterwards. And then our plan for the second set is at winter conferences. Teachers will be able to meet, kind of check in how those books are going with the families, and then give them their next set of 10 books. So a nice resource. Other grade levels are like, I wish those were coming for our students, but really hoping to see that as a benefit for our students. Something we've talked a little bit about our fifth grade leadership team this year. We've been really problem solving with some of our students that have been tardy to school or absent. What is something that's going to get them excited to come in the morning? And one of the things that they've kind of problem solved is having students take the lead of our morning announcements. So starting after break, we had our fifth grade students are starting with that and thinking about what are some little things that they could add that we're not interrupting instruction time, but getting kids excited to be there right at the start of the day so they can hear a peer versus an adult on the announcements in the morning. So just exciting when you kind of give students the leadership and the capacity to make some decisions, what they're able to come up with and do. In addition, they have planned an activity for Wednesday that will be a school-wide, kind of thinking back to those daily desired experiences. They've helped to plan an activity that all students pre-K through 5 will be able to participate in setting goals, and then they're designing their own hats to be able to make. And the rest of the school, they've kind of kept that a pretty good secret, so the rest of our students do not know about that, and we actually didn't tell the rest of the staff until over the weekend. So excited to do a learning activity, but also something to create some excitement with our students. And then our last kind of thing, thinking through, is that we are starting our winter universal screeners, and then we'll go into that next set of data meetings. So really just, it's an exciting time to see the growth and just how some of those interventions have worked and just our core instruction. So looking through, and teachers are excited. They have wrapped up half of their letters training as of now. So really starting to think through some peer reviews, how they can watch each other and talk about maybe some implications of what that could look like for student instruction moving forward.
Good stuff. Any questions for Amy?
Like Amy said, it seems like we haven't had a whole lot of school since the last time we met. We did make it through finals week at the end of the first semester, and after going through, our schedule that we have used for quite a while, our ILT is going to look at how can we make that more successful and be a smoother period, especially with as many shared staff between middle school and high school that we have. So it's something that we're going to be looking at even for the second semester in terms of how we schedule that. We have a lot of kids that we're sending out to different places. Today, Jane Bernard and Bailey Dodd were in Des Moines for their FCCLA state officer training. And then actually we host the Heartland District FCCLA conference next Monday when school is out. So we're going to have a lot of surrounding schools bringing in FCCLA, sharing ideas. They'll have a keynote and also breakout sessions. So that'll be pretty exciting on Monday. Next Wednesday, the 22nd, some of our agriculture students are going to go to the Capitol building for a legislative session. They get to meet with some policymakers and talk about some of the upcoming agriculture items and events that will be coming up. Like Amy said, we took some of our screeners. We took fast bridge testing in math at middle school last Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow we'll do the reading. in our building this year with the schedule, we've been able to provide structured reading interventions, but with some changes in staff and some things from last year's schedule this year, we haven't been able to provide math interventions in a structured setting, but we were able to move some scheduling and get some things done within our current schedule and current staffing to start providing those second semesters. So we're really going to start diving in. Jessica Feiner has done a wonderful job with the reading interventions, providing those and looking at data with the reading. Our SST team is really going to look into the math data and start providing that this semester. Robotics were able to get their instructions for the new competition this semester. I sat in on a couple brainstorming sessions that they had, and they speak a different language when they're in there. I gave them a lot of bad ideas, so they have that to cross off the let's not try that list. But it's impressive to see them watch a video and start to analyze, this is what we have to do, how do we maximize our points, what do we want our robot to focus on. I think they're pretty excited about it. So they spend a lot of time in there, and they push each other. Mr. Fuller and Mr. Nemrick do a wonderful job of asking the right questions, and it's interesting to watch that process happen. Last Friday and Saturday, we hosted the JV wrestling tournament on Friday and the girls JV and varsity wrestling tournament on Saturday. We had well over 1,000 people in our building between the 2 days. Reed and the coaches do a wonderful job of organizing and putting that event on. All of our workers do an amazing job of keeping that going. Our gyms were packed, and then by Sunday morning, you couldn't tell that we had anybody in here. So we have a custodial staff that came in, put it all back together, and it's just a testament to how much pride they take in the work that they do. There were a lot of people that commented both on how the tournaments were ran, but also just the state of the building. And it looked like it had not been stepped in the day before, even though we had, lots and lots of people. So kudos to them. I'm really impressed. And then a couple more people going out. We have Thursday, jazz band is going to the Triton Jazz Festival at Iowa Central Community College. And then we actually have 2 middle school band students that qualified for the Simpson College Honor Band, and that will be next Tuesday. They get to go play with the Honor Band. So.
All right. Any questions for Derek? All right. Thanks, guys. All right. Consent agenda. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Mr. Heyer, you have anything you wanted to comment about that?
For a consent agenda, it's pretty straightforward. The financial reports, if you guys remember, we moved the December meeting up due to a work session, so your packet had the November, December financials. And then the new hires, I would just say that we issued the contracts for our non-certified coaching staff for the spring and summer, so that's why there is a number of those contracts in there. But other than that, the consent agenda is pretty straightforward.
I'll move to approve. Second.
Thompson?
Yes.
Van Sickle?
Yes.
Bergstrom?
Yes.
Merritt? Yes. All right. Moving on to action items. There it is. All right, so we need to go ahead and open. Right. So we need to have a public hearing about the expenditure of flex funds. Do we need to say anything about that, or just go ahead and open it? Okay. So I will open the floor now for a public hearing regarding the expenditure of flex funds. If anybody has any comments. Okay, if there are none, I will go ahead and close the hearing.
And then we just
And
need
now
you can go to item B, and it'd be the
perfect.
resolution.
So now I will entertain a motion for that resolution. Anybody?
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution for the expenditure of $194.50 of flex funds for the general fund purpose.
Excellent.
I'll second it.
Right. Thompson?
Yes.
Van Sickle?
Yes.
Bergstrom?
Yes.
Merritt? Yes. Okay. Good deal. Moving on to at-risk dropout prevention plan.
Absolutely. It's just to support our at-risk population, either through education, counseling, supports. We have the ability to request money through SRBC, and we have an amount that we want to request for you guys. It's at $215,606. Really, that would be just a continue to support our dropout prevention program. Those funds are a dual, it's a state aid as well as property tax.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Any motions?
I'll make a motion to authorize the district's admin to submit a request to the school budget review committee in the amount of $215,606 for at-risk dropout prevention service.
Second.
Thompson?
Yes.
Van Sickle?
Yes.
Bergstrom?
Yes.
Merritt? Yes. Okay, moving on to the high school course description guide. Do you have any comments either of you guys want to make?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, but we are planning for 25-26. You know, I think staffing will start to kick in here and you'll start to see some people moving, but Derek and his team really worked hard on just updating the 25-26 course description guide. There were some redundancies that he really kind of looked at and or things that didn't align. And then due to some staffing and or things that people are really passionate and interested in and giving our kids some different experiences, there are a few new courses. So I'm going to hand it over to Derek to just talk a little bit more and or if you guys have other questions regarding the course description guide. But ultimately, the goal is to get that course description guide approved so then we can start to get kids the schedule for the following school year.
Yeah, so Mr. Heyer, summed it up really well. We're trying to maximize the talents that our staff has. We have some new staff in this year that have advocated for maybe some of the classes that they have. And some of them might be digital photography with Mr. Berger, and then also in an art advanced study course. It's something we've had in our past, but we haven't had it in the course description guide. So our art courses that we provide would be ceramics, painting, drawing, some of those. But if we have somebody that's real proficient in one of those mediums, we want to offer them the opportunity to be able to continue to work with that medium as opposed to taking a drawing class for one time. If that's something that they have real talent in, we want them to pursue that and offering it, in independent study with Mr. Berger. It can be embedded within another drawing class. I believe that's happened in the last year and a half or so. They've allowed the embedding of classes in Iowa. So it's not creating an entirely new hour that Mr. Berger's occupied to teach that course. They can be embedded within another class. Intro to management and media communications within the business sector. That's something that we're adding in. Our FCCLA group has added in a baking class. We're switching. We used to have consumer and applied math. We're changing that to something called informal math that has its own SCED code, and that allows Mr. Nemrick to really cater that math instruction to the kids' needs and what would really help benefit getting them to the next spot. And then one of the other changes that we've made is our strength and agility class. Our students are able right now to take it every other day on a day 1, day 2 basis. We wanted to provide some of our students to have an interest in being able to take it every day, because right now they take it day 1, and then opposite of that they have a study hall. Some of those kids have another study hall class at different hours. They're almost having an hour and a half of study hall when they would rather be in the weight room or in the aerobics class every day as opposed to every other day. So we were able to make our schedule work within the staff that we have. Those are some of the classes. We got rid of some of the classes that have not been taken for a while, and also we don't have interest in taking. Just took them off the course description guide just to clean it up a little bit. And then some of the other language that would be in more of the narrative portion, aside from the courses, would be things that were, like Mr. Heyer said, either redundant or things that were inconsistent with the way that our handbook was written. So we wanted to just make sure that it cleaned it up a little bit.
I think it's important to note that we are taking advantage of the talents that our staff have, and all of the changes that he was indicating does not require additional staffing. So it is something that we're able to provide those opportunities with the staffing that we have.
So, all right, any questions, comments?
I have a question
Yeah, what's that?
for you,
For me?
Madam President.
Yes.
So a number of years ago, our science offerings for graduation requirements is a little wonky.
Yes.
And you being in at Iowa State for admissions, so it's definitely your wheelhouse. Have we cleaned up the science wonkiness?
Yeah, I'll give my answer and then maybe one of you want to expand. So we, in theory, fixed the problem a year and a half, 2 years ago when we adjusted those graduation requirements, right? So we were no longer requiring just physical sciences because basically every university in the country, you have to have 3, 2 of them being labs. Well, here at Ogden, we were requiring 2 non-lab sciences for graduation, plus biology. So then if they wanted to go to college, they've got to take those 3. Now they've got to take another one. So let's say chemistry or physics, right? What if they want to be an engineer and go to Iowa State? Now they really need both chemistry and physics. So now at Ogden, they've got to fit 5 years of science, right, into 4, which obviously was not good. So we undid that a couple years ago. The problem that kind of remained was, and this is, you might be able to speak on this more, the problem that kind of remained was that we still had our science flow, I guess you could say, like here, kind of slated so that students would still take that earth and space science and that physical science. And, so like, even though our requirements had changed, our pathway, for science here at Ogden was still kind of set up for them to be taking that same schedule, which is, in my opinion, not conducive to a college, it's not helpful for a college-bound student. But that's changing. Yes.
Right.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Maybe Amy, I know you were in on that meeting. I think we've got that cleaned up and it's much more streamlined. I know Shay did a lot of work on that too.
Right.
So yes, the answer is yes. That's, in my opinion, all being fixed. Yeah.
It's a process, yes. We're working.
Yeah. You've got to shuffle kids, and a lot of students have already taken maybe, these classes or whatever. So now to try to just shift everything and get them in the right classes now, yeah, I mean, like
We're going to kind of get into a spot where the turnover to what, there wasn't necessarily a traditional path, but going to what our pathways are going to look like. It's going to be kind of odd in terms of numbers of classes, students in certain classes because of when they're going to take it. But it's going to be more aligned with where it's just kind of, the shift is going to be a little bit odd.
It's really looking at 2 different pathways. So either like pathway 1 would be biology, physical science, earth science, or you're going that same 3, but then you can branch out to the chemistry, physics, or anything.
Yeah. So
I think they answer. I mean, ultimately, it was just the scope and the sequence and the pathway. It was pigeonholing, or maybe not allowing. We want to open doors rather than close doors. So by making those changes, we're going to hopefully keep those doors open for all students.
Very good.
Marissa, I was trying to watch your face. Did I butcher it? It's like, I don't know how
I need this job all this. I don't think you quite have the history right. It used to be where everybody started in bio, and then they chose whether they wanted to take first science, chemistry, and physics for their 4 years if they were college bound. But the reason that changed is only required 3 sciences.
Yeah, but our requirements did, like our policy requirements, you had to have earth and physical.
Not for a few years, though.
Yeah, we changed it.
Yeah, Mr. Reynolds changed that a few years ago.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the 25-26 high school course description guide if there's no other questions on it.
Are we good?
I'll second.
Thompson?
Yes.
Van Sickle?
Yes.
Bergstrom?
Yes.
Merritt?
Yes. All right. Have we all read through the policies? Any comments, questions, problems with those?
The majority of them An office moved, and we had to update addresses.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all.
Yeah.
A state office moved. So that's why there's a lot of first and final, because it's literally just updating that.
No comments?
I'll make the motion. First reading, policies 501.9, 501.9 R1, and first and final of that other slew of policies.
I will second that motion.
Thompson?
Yes.
Van Sickle?
Yes.
Bergstrom?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes. All right, and then second group of policies. How about those?
Again, it's just our responsibility to go through and review policies, and this is just a policy review of some of our 700 series, going from internal controls all the way down to school transportation.
If there's no questions or comments, I will make a motion to approve those.
Second.
Thompson?
Yes.
Van Sickle?
Yes.
Bergstrom?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes. All right. Do you have the sign sheet? No. I'm sorry. No, it's fine. I sent it around. Only 2 people had signed it. So I sent it around. Oh.
It's on state. I saw it was it was on state requirement or state recommendation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Grace, is this you?
Probably.
You're up, my friend. What do you have?
Well, with recent things going on in South Hamilton with Scott Church as the basketball coach, what's our plan down here with that? Since he's the head varsity baseball coach.
So in an open session meeting, we actually can't respond. So we can listen to your thoughts, but we can't take action on or have any discussion as a board. It's just it's in accordance with the law, really. I mean, open meetings, we have to post what our agenda is, so we can't speak about anything that's not on our agenda. So you're welcome to share your thoughts with us, of course, but we wouldn't be able to respond tonight.
My thoughts is he pulled the same stuff down here, we got rid of them, went up there, and now he's pulling the same stuff up here, but you guys brought him back here now again. So he's just gonna do the same thing down here. Why do we keep bringing him back? I don't understand it. No one understands it, actually.
I don't want to cut you off. I just want to make sure. Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Chris, what's your last name?
Saunders. S-A-U-N, please. Thank you. Okay. All right. Thanks, Chris. All right. Moving on to the board calendar.
Finance committee, do we want to schedule a meeting now, or I've done 0 on the certified budget for next year, but
Do you guys want to schedule it now, or do you guys want, once we have a better idea, I can send a message to you guys and we can coordinate it that way?
Yeah, you know, when you
okay.
use it, it's fine.
Okay. I'll put that as a to-do for myself.
Looking forward to February negotiations is typically president and vice president, so it's mid-February, so we'll be in touch with you guys too on that meeting. We're meeting with the association for opening proposals.
Okay. All right. All right, your turn.
Yeah, keep it somewhat short tonight. First off, I just wanted to update you guys. If you guys remember the Homeland Security grant that we received, it was $150,000. That work has been completed, and we are in the final stages of submitting our paperwork in order for us to get that reimbursement. But all of the things that we had identified are complete on that. So I wanted to give that update. It's been a long process. A lot of people have been putting in a lot of time and energy making sure that gets done. Wanted just to share a little bit more on supporting our students with school-based therapy. And we've partnered with YSS in the past, and they, due to I think staffing, went to basically a telehealth model. And with that, I think that there's been opportunities for us to serve and support students that we haven't been able to do just to those numbers. I was informed of another company, it's a counseling service called Heart Solutions. And they're able to, they will purchase, or not purchase, but their contract will be with a school-based therapist, and we will have them on site. The cost is nothing for the school district. We simply provide the space for them to be able to provide that service. So I just wanted to give that information to you guys. I will be bringing some information to you. I think it's a win-win. I think it's an opportunity for us to get somebody on staff, not on staff, but here present to be able to help support our students and needs. Our counselors will kind of do those tier 1 items, and then more intensive support might be with some of those students, with Heart Solutions. In addition to that, if you guys remember chronic absenteeism bill or passed, I mean, if a family right now wants to provide those counseling supports for their child, they're coming, they're checking them out, they're going through that appointment, they're missing a lot of instructional time. And be able to have that in-house, I think definitely could support that. So, any questions about that? I'll be bringing more information to you guys. Facility master planning, if you guys remember, we approved that. FRK, I've been working with them. They're going to start meetings in January internally. So we have, I think, 3 or 4 meetings with some internal staff. And then from there, more in the March, April timeframe, they'll start to have community input. So I have a subcommittee group that I've identified. I haven't reached out to them yet, but I'll be asking them for their participation in that. So I just want to give you guys an update on where we're at with that. It's probably going to be obviously the January through April timeframe, and then hopefully they'd be able to present the report to the board more in May, June about their findings with that facility master planning. And then the last thing, I just want to circle back to the parking lot conversation. If you guys remember in December, we had an open work session. We discussed that. Bishop Engineering was the engineer that we were working with. They gave some concept designs. They received some feedback, and then they modified and adjusted some of their preliminary work. My recommendation would be that we come back together and have another work session to discuss, the pros and cons of what we like, what we don't like, receive constructive feedback, and then really determine what are our next steps. So I guess if you guys are in favor of that, I would like to recommend another work session so that we can continue to discuss that topic.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think enough has changed since we had our last work session about that. I mean, there's just too much. There are too many things to consider. I mean, I think to do here. So if we just have an open work session instead.
Yeah,
so
great.
Is there a time? Do you want to get back with us, or do you want to
shoot us some ideas if you want?
Yeah.
However you want.
Do you guys have your calendars available? What would January 27th? It's 2 weeks from today.
This calendar shows varsity basketball.
Okay.
I think it's here.
I don't want to do that.
Because it's only on my calendar because
'28. That's a Tuesday. That's typically when we do have games.
Yep. There's no home game. I don't know if they're what.
That does work for me. There's no problem.
I don't see anything on our calendar for activities.
Matt?
I think so. I don't have my phone. I forgot it.
And your wife is everywhere.
And my wife is left, so.
That would be Tuesday, January 28th. Would we want to do 6:30? What works best for the board?
I'm good with whatever.
Any time in there would be fine.
Can we do a 6 o'clock? That way we get a chance to get done a little bit earlier, and those that need to be here can get home to their families.
Yep. That's great.
Okay. I will. I'll get more information and have that work session.
Perfect. Okay, good. Did you have anything else? I don't want to cut you off.
That's all I have.
Anybody have any comments or questions for Mr. Hire?
So about a month ago, it all runs together over the holidays, but a athlete got hurt. First responders were called, and I saw you in the hallway when you advocated for having that athletic trainer. So I just want you to maybe address the board and tell them what you told me. So.
Yeah, I'll just say in general, we've partnered with Boone County Hospital, and the amount of money that we're paying for that athletic trainer to be having a full-time athletic trainer that's here for all activities and events, but really to rehabilitate our student athletes back if they are injured has been great. I think they're probably here 1:30, 2 o'clock, and they're here until late in the evening. Tragic situations happen whenever you're having high compact activities and situations, but able to have that person here in that situation, but I would just say in general all the time has been very beneficial. So I am appreciative of the partnership that we have with Boone County Hospital. It's something I hope that we can continue for years on.
Is it the same person every time, or do they have a staff of people that are?
Great question. What they did is Boone Public did the same model. We have the same person, but because they are Boone County Hospital, they can staff. So if for some reason our person is gone, they're kind of interchanging. And or this weekend we had an event with 40 some schools here, hundreds of athletes. They actually had 2 athletic trainers here. So it was a great opportunity.
That's awesome. Sure.
And then would you mind touching on the impact awards?
Yeah. So I just wanted to continue to celebrate and recognize. So if you guys remember, that was a priority for me. And we started with staff nominations. So peers are nominating off the greatness and the things that are going on in the district. So every month we're going through those nominations and we're identifying staff members that have done above and beyond. And then we're partnering with community members and or local businesses just to come in and really celebrate. Honestly, it's a celebration of 8 staff members on a monthly basis. And Christine is doing a great job of kind of capturing that and putting it in a presentation form and sending that out to our community. There's just a lot of unsung heroes that are doing great things. I think it's important for us to recognize them.
And they're looking for sponsors. So if you know business or individual that would like to sponsor that, reach out to them. Yeah. Still trying to find them, right? Still trying to find some sponsors.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for bringing those up.
Anything else? All right, should we adjourn? Anybody?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Thompson?
Yes.
Stansicle?
Yes.
Bergstrom?
Yes.
Merritt? Yes. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.